Hi, this is Luca Talks Ball here, and today I'm making a brand new video of Sky Bet League 2 fixtures as it's game week 42, as we are closing, recommending towards the end of the season right now, as those games are coming thick and fast, where it's about battling for promotion and also the relegation. So this week's fixtures I'm going to be predicting for this week for League 2. Of course, we are going to start off with the lunchtime kickoff. Doncaster Rovers versus AFC Wimbledon. My score prediction on this one. Two teams are fighting for the playoffs, of course. Doncaster, I still think they are favourites to win this game. AFC Wimbledon's form, they've kind of like fell off a little bit. But of course, they're in around the playoffs. I do think they will go into the playoffs. I don't think they'll go up automatic. But my score prediction I'm going to go for, with Grant McCann's side, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Doncaster. Next game, of course, we have Swindon Town versus Bradford City. Bradford City, of course, are the team who I think will win the league. Walsall are sitting top of the league. When you have a look at Bradford City's form, of course, they've had a few good results, and in around there, they're kind of like, there was one game where they dropped points. But my score prediction I'm going to go for a Bradford City 2-0 win against Swindon. Next game, of course, we've got Accrington Stanley versus Tranmere Rovers. Tranmere Rovers got a very impressive 4-0 win over Chesterfield. They're unbeaten. I think it's like 6 games of a possible 7. The only defeat which came was, I think it was against Harrogate. So Tranmere Rovers against Accrington. My score prediction I'm going to go for a 1-0 Tranmere Rovers win. I just feel like they're going to continue the momentum in there. Accrington Stanley are pretty much near enough around safe. So I think Tranmere are going to get that win to secure. Definitely staying in this division. Moving on to Barrow versus Walsall. This is a game where Walsall could actually drop points. Of course, they are travelling to Barrow. Very long trip from Birmingham to Barrow. Look, I expect Walsall to win this game. They will obviously want to keep that extended lead. They're only 1 or 2 points ahead. It's not really an extend, but they want to obviously hope Bradford drop points against Swindon. But I kind of fancy a draw in this game. I really got a good feeling that Barrow might get something. They might continue that momentum where they beat MK Dons last week. They beat us, mate. They fully deserved to beat us last week. We were terrible last week. But I actually fancy Barrow getting a draw in this game, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw against Walsall. Moving on to Chesterfield versus Fleetwood Town. Fleetwood, of course, are a side where on a day they can end up beating anyone. Of course, they beat MK Dons. They beat us a couple of weeks ago. Got convincingly smashed by Swindon, of course. 4-0 at home. So you can see the inconsistency what Fleetwood have. Fleetwood coming up against Chesterfield. I really think this is going to be a very difficult game because Chesterfield are a bit hit and miss this season. They are a bit hit and miss because they did lose 4-0 to Tranmere Rovers. I can see this game being like a 2-2 draw. I really think this is going to be a bit of a high-scoring game because, look, Chesterfield would want to bounce back. This is two teams where, look, Fleetwood, of course, want to try and finish maybe around the top 12. They want to finish highest possible mid-table. Chesterfield still want to try and maybe get into the playoffs, but I don't see them getting into the playoffs. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this game. I just feel like it's going to be a bit of a high scoring in this game. And I do think these two teams will cancel themselves out. Next game, of course, is Gillingham versus MK Dons. Wasn't really going to give you a prediction, of course, because I will be saving that for the vlog. But we do take on Gillingham, of course. It's going to be a tough game. It is going to be a tough game. We're not on the greatest form. Gillingham have had quite a lot of draws recently. Gillingham did drew 1-1 in their game in hand against Chesterfield in the week. So I don't feel confident. I really don't feel confident. We're still looking for a manager. We're hoping to get a manager announced tomorrow. On Friday, there has been a few candidate managers. Keith Andrews apparently has been linked to the job. I really hope that doesn't get true. And then I heard Michael Duff rejected it. Of course, there was another manager as well who was on the list as well. I can't really remember who it was. I think it was Paul Wen. So there's a few candidates, so we still don't know who the manager is. But of course, we do take on Gareth Ainsworth's team, and we don't have the greatest record against Gareth Ainsworth. And Gareth Ainsworth is a very good manager. If Gillingham do, of course, look, I didn't expect Gillingham to be in this position where they were this season with the budget what they got. But if they can get a good run for next season, build on with Gareth Ainsworth and a very experienced manager, he will get Gillingham doing very well. Maybe start challenging. I'm not saying they'll get out of the division, but I think with a League Two manager, Gareth Ainsworth has played in this division before as a player, and also, of course, has played as a manager in League One. So, Gareth Ainsworth, I do think my score prediction, I actually think this game is going to be a Gillingham win. I'm going to go for a Gillingham 2, MK Dons 1. Next game, Harrogate versus Grimsby. My score prediction I'm going to go for is a 3-1 Grimsby. Next game, Morecambe versus Carlisle. Two teams where Carlisle are pretty much down now. If Carlisle are whether to lose against Morecambe, then Carlisle will be relegated into the National League. And Morecambe, I do have something to fight for, where they're probably going to have to rely on results if Accrington beat Tranmere Rovers. But I can see maybe a Morecambe winning this game. I can see this game being a 1-0 Morecambe win. I just feel like Carlisle, of course, going to be near enough relegated, really finding it. But they will give 110% to make sure they're not mathematically down and rely on other results. But I'm going to go for a 1-0 Morecambe. Newport County versus Colchester. Very tough game for Newport County. Newport County are a bit in a similar situation than us. Haven't really got anything to play for. Michael Jardine, of course, a very poor season for Newport. Going to finish in around about 16th, 17th in League Two. But I actually fancy... Look, they're taking on Colchester. Colchester, of course, is a very, very good team this season. With the likes of experience of Jack Payne. They beat us twice this season. And then they beat us in the Bristol Motors Cup this season. I actually fancy a Newport County win. I do think Newport, they're one of those teams where they will turn up. Like they beat MK Dons 6-3. Of course, Newport's next game after Colchester is an away trip to MK Dons. So I'm going to go for a Newport County 2-1 win. And then, of course, final game, Port Vale versus Bromley. I'm going to go for a Port Vale 2-0 win. So that's my Sky Bet League 2 predictions for this week's recommending fixtures for game week 42 out of 46. Let me know if you want me to do this on a regular basis, and I will try and do it. Like I'm thinking of maybe doing it like every Thursday or Friday near towards the end of the week. It is a perfect suitable time for me. Content wise coming up, would there be any live streams coming up? The last stream we did was obviously on Tuesday. I want to say thank you very much for people who do watch the vlogs and the live streams. The channel is doing very well at the moment, and we want to keep that on the regular basis, and we do want to help everyone else as well grow their channels as well. Can we try and aim for 25 likes on this video? That would be appreciated. 20 to 25 likes on this video. And would there be any content coming up tomorrow? There's a possibly maybe tomorrow evening if I can try and do a Gillingham preview. Need to try and find a Gillingham fan. And then, of course, if we don't do that, then we will see you on Saturday for the matchday vlog, where I will be travelling down to Priestfield Stadium, Gillingham, which we could potentially be meeting Gills Blood or German Gills for the first time. So, but yeah, that's what content is coming up. Live streams could potentially be maybe around the weekend if I get a bit of time, if not on Monday. So if I don't upload tomorrow, then we'll see you on Saturday at the game for the matchday vlog. Take care, people, and have a lovely Friday tomorrow, and we'll see you for the matchday vlog on Saturday.